What is up, everybody? It's your boy Young Fizz, aka Mr. Dope Status on Instagram, and welcome back to another video. If you are new here, consider subscribing as I make machine tutorials. So there's a lot of stuff that I want to talk about today. First, we're going to be talking about Maschine 3.0, Komplete 14, and just other things inside of Native Instruments, right? Now, this is a disclaimer. I don't work for Native Instruments, right? I'm my own independent person on YouTube, just doing tutorials and selling, my course, which if you guys haven't checked out, I'm gonna leave the link in the description below. Go check out the course. That's if you are serious about Maschine and want to take your skills to the next level. So the first thing I want to talk about is the history of Maschine 2.0, right? Now, when I say the history, I'm not going to say like, oh, back when I started and this is, no, I'm going to be talking about like the different features and the things that they offer over the years that has come to that features that people come to love inside a Maschine. But the question I ask myself is it enough? And before I get into these features, I need you guys to like the video, subscribe, and hit that thanks button if you can, right? Because I'm gonna be giving you guys some value and some game here, right? So let's go ahead and talk about Maschine 2.0 and its features, right? So Maschine 2.0 brings cutting edge advancements to Maschine, same hardware, faster workflow, unprecedented power, right? And so what was introduced inside of Maschine, and you can kind of see here on the screen, you had the audio engine, you had the user interface. I mean, you have the mixer, it was an improved sampler. You have, the extended library, the instruments, like you have a lot of stuff. They even have Maschine 2.0 lets you import MIDI files directly and send CC controller to your studio gear. And this stuff is powerful. And I don't know if you guys are really taking advantage of this power that Maschine has. This is crazy. Before I go any further into Maschine, I want to know what you guys are using. Are you using the Maschine Mark III? Are you using the Maschine Studio, the Maschine Plus? What are you guys using? Leave a comment down below. Let me know what gear you guys are using as far as the Maschine, or if you don't use Maschine, you use Ableton, or if you use Maschine as a plugin. I want to know. Just let me know in the comments down below. So right here, I want to talk about Maschine 2.1, right? We have all these different features, and you can take time to read it on the screen. They fix a lot of bugs, the quantize, real-time erase functions. You have all of these different features inside of Maschine. One of the biggest ones was the shaker, inside of these synths here. You have, let's just keep scrolling, the keyboard integration. We have the arpeggiator. Like, are you guys using the arpeggiator? Like, this stuff is insane. You have the scales and chords. So that means if you don't even know anything about music theory at all, you're able to sit there, load up Maschine, and play professional chords, progressions, using the scales and chords feature. Now that is huge, and I don't think a lot of people are using this to their advantage, because I'm a decent keyboard player, right? I can play the keys a little bit, but I don't know all the chord theory, because as I got older, I stopped paying attention to like reading the music, but I can read just a little bit enough to get by. And I could sit there and open up my Maschine on Maschine Studio, and I could program chords just like that. Like it only takes a quick second to program chords using this feature. And I don't think a lot of people are using the scales and chords features. And like I said, I don't even know my scales that well, but I can pull up, Maschine, enter the scales, and then play the pads, and I already have a scale. So you can come up with a melody like super quick. You also have workflow improvements. So it talks about quantize, the 50%, you have the pattern editor. I mean, you have the MIDI export, you have the control area. I mean, there's so many just things inside a Maschine. We continue on, we have the limiter, we have distortion, we have cabinet emulation, we have the transparent limiter, analog distortion, cabinet effects. We have the different reverb, we have the room mode, we have hall mode. And this was introduced in Maschine 2.3. We have the drum engines, right? We have, the breaker, and we have the tom. We have, this is the cymbal drum synth and the hi-hat engine, right? We have all this crazy stuff that's coming out over the years. We have enhanced third-party workflow with NKS. And this is cool because when you load up third-party plugins, you're able to see like the graphic. And to me, that's pretty dope, just to be able to see the graphic and easily, scroll through the sounds that you're looking for with the graphic. Maschine 2.4 was introduced. You have 2.4.6, and it talks about the audio AIFF introduced, right? We have the slicer mode and manual mode, and we have, the loop control to the transport. All these different powerful features, keep getting introduced year after year after year after year after year after year after year. 2.5, dynamic new performance effects. Now this was dope. When this came out, I was blown away. And mind you, I have the Maschine Studio, and I don't have, so that means I don't have the touch strip. That's not what I have. The Mark IIIs have the touch strip. The cool thing about it is that when they integrated this into the Maschine software, I was still able to control it with the Maschine Studio. And to me, that's more than powerful. So you have the lock and morph snapshots. And I don't think a lot of people are using this feature, but this is a very powerful feature when you want to easily transition stuff and create cool like effects and stuff like that. I don't see hardly anybody doing tutorials on that. I just did a short video on YouTube for the variation engine and the randomization and humanization feature. 2.6. This was, they introduced native access, so you can simply download, sounds, expansions, all that stuff like in one spot. They also introduced the bass synth, which was pretty dope. Now, another big thing that they introduced was the audio plugin, and that came in 2.7. And the audio plugin was truly a game changer inside of the Maschine. Why was this a game changer? Because we were able to load, and not only load the samples, but sync our loops to the tempo of the beat. So you could literally now go to Splice, drag and drop a sample right onto sound number 1, change it to audio plugin, and it's already synced to the tempo or BPM of your project. That's huge. And if you wanted to take that to the next level, you can use this, load it, stretch your sample, change it back to sampler, and then lock it, and then you can chop that up. That's already synced. So it makes it even easier if you already know the tempo of the project. So audio plugin was definitely a game changer. And not only that, it has something called gate mode. So with the introduction of audio plugin inside of, Maschine 2.7 and gate mode, you're allowed to basically create cool rhythmic patterns inside of the Maschine. I'm gonna scroll some more here, and we have 2.7.9. Then we have 2.8, and you have sounds integration. I personally myself haven't really got into the integration with sounds, but for those that do, I'm pretty sure it's a dope feature because you're able to turn on your computer, connect it to the internet, and get sounds kind of like you would from Splice, but it's integrated right into Native Instruments, so you can control it right from your controller. Now you have Maschine 2.10, which is new pattern record features. Then you have the 2.12, which is clips. Now, clips was something huge. This was incredible. For them to incorporate something like clips inside of Maschine, that was another game changer, right? So now with clips, you're able to take your arrangement and just move it around the grid freely. You had the polysynth, you had 2.15 that introduces the auto sampler, and I haven't really got into that yet because I'm stuck on 2.14. And the reason being is because the computer I have now, the operating system that I have, I should say, I haven't upgraded yet, but I'm going to, or either get a new computer, one of the two. So you get all this for $699. That's if you buy the Maschine Mark III. And you can buy the other controllers like the Mark III, the Mini, Micro, and still be able to get into the Native Instruments systems. Now, so that kind of raises the question, is Maschine 3.0 update? Will we be seeing Maschine 3.0 update before the end of the year? And my question is, are we ready for it? Is Native Instruments actually ready to release 3.0 updates? And if they do, we can probably bet on it's going to be a subscription base, or if it's not subscription based, it will be Maschine 3.0, and then for certain features you can pay for the add-on. So will we see that? And why do I say this is because we've seen they just released Tractor 3, and there's an add-on. You see, so you get Tractor Pro 3, but it's called Plus, and basically that's just an add-on on what you can get on top of Tractor Pro 3, and that's a subscription base. So you would buy Tractor Pro 3, and then if you want the Plus, which is the extra features, you're just paying a subscription every month. And so last but not least, real quick, I just wanted to let you guys know that Komplete 14 is more than likely about to drop. And you might be wondering, well, how do you know? The reason I know this is because if you look at their history on dropping, they normally drop around the fourth quarter, which is October 1st, like the first day of the fourth quarter. So October 1st, you're probably going to see Komplete 14. But they have a discount in which you could basically get 50% off on the Select and 33% off on Komplete 13. And so I'm excited to see what Native Instruments has in the future. It's your boy Young Fizz, and we will see you on the next video. Thank you for watching, and we are out.